Mom, Dad, I humbly suggest you save some money and shop Amazon for back to school. It's for my growth, meaning my body's growing at an alarming rate. And clothes you buy me this year will be very small very soon. Plus, the clothes I love today will be out of style tomorrow. But at least your wallet doesn't have to be my fashion victim if you shop low prices for school at Amazon. Hopefully this is helpful. Amazon. Spend less, smile more.
It's Ariel from the Sustainable Brown Girl radio show. My absolute favorite place to shop in downtown Newnan is Greenhouse Mercantile on East Washington Street. This aesthetically pleasing lifestyle store features a collection of goods from local artists, Black-owned businesses, and fair trade products. The owner, Kenya, also offers services to curate your wardrobe and make your home a sanctuary with interior design. Next time you're in downtown Newnan, be sure to stop by Greenhouse Mercantile. Open Wednesday through Saturday until 4 p.m.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
Welcome to Connecting Hearts. Connecting hearts of women to resources, information, and to one another. Presented by Creative Heart Studios, 18 Perry Street and Newnan. Now here's your host, Margie Conway.
This is Margie from Connecting Hearts Network. I'd like you to take just a moment and listen to Linda Kirkpatrick explain to you what Family Patterns Matters is all about.
Family Patterns Matter works with youth and their families to help overcome barriers that prevent their success. We meet twice a month with mentoring, tutoring, teaching life skills, resilience, gratitude, and kindness. We also bring music and art therapy. Please visit our website at www.familypatternsmatter.org.
Hello. I'm Pina Payne with Contour Mortgage, and we're so excited. We have just moved to this new company, and we are located at 560 Newnan Crossing Bypass in Newnan next to Art and Jake's, and we have some great products. Our interest rates are better than any other companies, and we also have some great products for the VA. We can do a better deal for you with fees than any other company. We have a lot of different kind of programs.
Hi, I'm Holly Reese. I'm the founder of Warrior Defenders. I'm a certified tactical self-defense instructor, and I specialize in women's self-defense. I teach technical drills for survival skills and education on self-defense tools and how to use them. My journey started in self-defense because I'm a domestic violence survivor. I'm here to empower women, to teach them how to be their own heroes, and to learn today to have a safer tomorrow.
Hey guys, this is Dana with Happy Life Nutrition, located on 18 Perry Street, downtown Newnan. Hours are 8 to 5, Tuesday through Friday. Come check us out. We will be serving up meal replacement shakes, calorie-burning teas, coffees, waffles. We have a kids menu and a workout menu. We do deliveries with a 5-drink minimum or $5 delivery charge if less. You can call ahead for your order. Free Wi-Fi, quiet atmosphere for business meetings or get-togethers. Our number at Happy Life Nutrition is 770-683-5172. Can't wait to see you.
Hi, this is Margie Conway from Creative Heart Studios, and this is the Connecting Hearts Network broadcast. We are really excited today. We've got a lot going on locally. We're able to get back. The husband is driving, so now I can actually be at the studio if you go in the door and yell my name. He knows I'm happy about that. He is too, because I'm not sure our marriage would have gone through much more of me driving him around, especially with a stepson in the car. It was really stressful. But anyway, we've got at the studio, we were going to start our selfie thing this weekend, but for several reasons I won't go into right now, we are going to have a friends and family night for our selfie pop-up next Friday night, which I think is the 30th, but I'm not positive off the top of my head. And we are going, or 29th. because I see a calendar. It's the 29th, and we're going to send the invitations out for that. A couple of us went up to a selfie studio in Atlanta over the weekend and had a blast. Matter of fact, our space is limited on how many booths we're going to be able to do, and the fact that we're going to tear most of them down after the weekend. So I'm going to get a group trip up to go have selfies, because I think it will build women's self-esteem up like nothing, because if I can look good in some of that stuff, I promise you can. And besides, when you just get the weird look on your face, or they set you up on a washing machine and it looks like you stuffed laundry up under the middle of your shirt, which I'm going to claim is what I did, you just own it. You don't have a choice. That's who you are now. So you just own it. But we're going to do that. And then we have some things that we're collecting over at the studios, and I'm going to throw that out there, but I'm going to remind you at the end that for the lovely little girl we had last week, Olivia, for Notes of Hope, we are collecting scrapbook, cardstock, stickers, and colorful pens for them to do the Notes of Hope for Backpack Buddies. And if you've got extra time and you just want to write a few cards out, you put encouraging words, Bible verses, anything to encourage these elementary age kids in those cards, and we will collect those and make sure she gets them too by the time school starts. We're also collecting school supplies for Family Patterns Matters. One really good friend of mine ordered a bunch from Amazon and had it delivered to me. So if you want to do that, you can reach out to me and we can help these kids in Family Patterns Matter get all the school supplies they need so they're ready to start a successful new year. The other one is for the NICU parents. We are doing scent hearts for them. So if you crochet or you sew, we have directions on sizes and everything that you can do, and we're going to be a drop-off point for that, and we might even get a community crafting day going. So we want to bless our community by the efforts that we put out, and I can tell you that, just for me, when I've suffered a bad day or depression or anything else going on, when I turn it out and help somebody else, that makes a huge difference to me. So, reach out and let's do some of those things together. Today, I have a friend of mine who works with Cancer Treatment Centers of America, and she has taken on a new role after being there for many years that we're going to talk about. Hi, Kim. I'm glad you're here.
Hey, Margie. Thank you. First of all, just thank you. I'm honored to be here and talk about my job. I love it. So I'm just super excited.
Good. This is Kim Davison. I didn't bother to say her last name, but Kim Davison goes to church with me, and she's just a sweetheart. Tell us a little bit about you, and you didn't start out in Newnan, how you ended up in Newnan.
Yeah, so born and raised Birmingham, Alabama. We moved to Newnan in 2010 when my husband took a position at our church. Yep. They called, they said, we want you. We packed up our 2 young children and moved to Georgia. Been here since then.
They have, and they've been a real blessing in our church. And just to aggravate William right here, just because she said Alabama, I have to ask him, is that the Roll Tide or is that the other one?
No, we do not speak those words in our house.
Even, I didn't know the difference when he first started there, so I did it blindly. But now I know the difference. I just do it to aggravate him. They are all orange and blue, whatever that is.
War Eagle.
Okay,
Yes.
War Eagle.
I see it.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't even notice the big old huge banner on Ryan's wall. All right. But now we're in Georgia, so let's talk about Georgia things.
All right. Here we go.
All right. You have been at Cancer Treatment Centers of America for what, 7 years?
Yep, a little over 7 years now.
Tell us how you landed there and what's going on there.
So when we moved to Georgia, I've always been in the medical field at some sort. I did medical billing. We moved to Georgia, and I could not find a job in the medical field. Everyone kept saying, you're too qualified. We need to hire somebody, just on the front level. So I ended up in banking. I had done that when we first got married and thought, I just got to have a job. Right. So started working at the bank, and then a couple years later, they started building CTCA.
Right.
And I'll never forget, once they started building it, and you could see they broke ground, and it was a big deal for Newnan. I remember telling William, I will work there one day. I just feel it. Like, that's where I want to be. And so I was lucky enough 7 years ago to get in. I started as a scheduler. Yeah. And so I'll never forget that first week being there on site. Like, when you walk in the door of CTCA, patients may not know it now, but when they were building it, Like, there are scriptures all over the walls, words of encouragement, just motivational quotes on the floors. As they were building it, they asked people to come in and literally write your words down.
Oh, wow.
You know, people that come in this place are looking for hope.
Right.
But they need to feel it. So whether they know it or not, these words are all around them, under their feet, on the ceilings.
Wow.
So, you know, that happened. And just that first week of working there, I knew this is where I was going to be.
Right. And you've been there a while. You worked yourself up through the ranks on the scheduling department.
Yeah, I started as a scheduler, which was just very motivational. It just really touches you to have those patients sit in your office as you're, you know, coordinating their trip. You know, I always tell, and then I became a scheduling leader, so I always told my schedulers, you know, yes, you are a scheduler, so you may feel like you're not as important as, you know, someone doing a higher job, but what you're doing is so important, because anything that we can do to take the stress off of the patient,
right.
You know, people always talk about, you know, the patients are stressed because they're going through cancer. They don't feel good. You know, they have all these symptoms they're dealing with. Their caregivers are just as stressed.
Oh, absolutely.
If not more.
Right,
you
I've
know?
been there.
Yeah, and so it is so important to, you know, do everything that we can to make it easy, even if it's just building their schedule. So most of our patients come from out of state.
Right.
You know, especially in the early days when we couldn't accept as many Georgia patients. You know, they come from out of state, so they travel. We coordinate their flights, their hotel. You know, it goes all the way down to, hey, when you're building their schedule, are you giving them enough time to get a lunch break? Right. You know, or are they literally in appointments back to back to back? You know, it's so important. And so I always tell them, you know, our goal is to make everything into a nice, pretty gift, wrap it in a bow and hand it to them so that they don't have to worry about those stresses. They can literally know that I'm going to have a hotel when I get there. I'm not going to have to worry about it. If I'm flying in, I know that car is going to be sitting out there and that driver is going to be waving for me to come on over. I don't have to worry about how I'm going to get, you know, to the grocery store. If I need to leave the hotel and go to Walmart to pick up something, I know they're going to take me. You know, it's just a concierge service for our patients, regardless.
And I've talked to a few that has had to use the services, and, you know, like we were talking earlier, we really wish everyone didn't have to.
Yep.
But once you get to that point, it's good to have that type of support. And I've talked to a few patients in there that have said, you know, they haven't had that at any other facility they've ever gone to. We had a couple come to our church that was going through there for a while, and they would tell you that, you know, they returned there because of the level of support that they had.
She traveled to us from Mississippi.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is very important, because I do remember with my aunt, it was before CTCA was there, and we were somewhere else, and she had excellent care where she was. The doctor was fantastic, and she was already, you know, advanced by the time they found it, but I do remember the stress of trying to take care of all the details in there. You know, that's why I closed my craft store, because I needed to concentrate on her and her care. So as a caregiver, that's invaluable to us too.
Yeah, you know, one thing that we have that is so unique is that most everything is under one roof.
Right.
You know, if you think of a cancer patient, they don't feel good. You know, they have all these symptoms. Having to go to this facility to get their imaging, to this facility to see, you know, the medical oncologist, to this facility to see, you know, the specialist, the gastroenterologist. We have all of that under one roof, so they can park, come in, and get it all done. Even, you know, we even do surgery, you know, under our roof. Everything is there. It just makes it so much easier. You know, I always say my biggest job, and especially in the role that I'm in now, is everybody's on a different journey.
Right.
You know, there is not one person that is the same. Everybody has a different journey. Even if their diagnosis is the same or similar to somebody else's, their journey is going to be different in what they need. But, you know, my goal is to help remove any barriers. You know, what barriers are standing in your way to get you the care that you need? You know, what can I do on my end? That's what I want to do, because we want to make it as stress-free as possible.
Right. Now, the Cancer Treatment Center has a lot of complementary services too, besides just the traditional medical services.
We have integrative care.
Right.
We're an integrative care model. You know, everybody thinks cancer care and you think chemotherapy, radiation, surgery. You know, that's just the main 3 treatments, which are very important, right? You need those.
Yes.
But one thing that we have is integrative care, which works in conjunction with those services. You know, we have nutrition on site available that takes care of patients. That's one thing that is huge for cancer patients.
Absolutely.
Is getting the proper nutrition, because that will help with your healing. We have naturopathy, you know, vitamins, supplements that can help with symptoms. You know, that, you know, if you've got nausea, you need certain things. And having somebody there that you can reach out to at the drop of a hat and say, I'm experiencing this. What do you have that can help?
Yeah.
You know, we have mind and body medicine, because healing is it is just as much mental as it is physical. You know, you need to be in the right mind. You need to be relaxed. You need to, you know, want to fight it and have, you know, there are so many different tools that they have to help our patients get in the right mindset to be able to heal. We have, you know, chiropractor, which helps. Right. You know, we have pain medicine on site that helps. We have psychiatry, psychology. We have wellness classes that you can take. We offer yoga. You know, we even have sexual wellness, because that's something that, you know, a lot of people deal with cancer that normal people don't think about. People that have never dealt with it, they just don't think, oh, that's an issue. That is an issue. And it is, you know, something that patients really struggle with. They need that. So, yeah, we just have so much to offer, and it just, you know, it's all about treating the whole person.
And it's like, I don't have cancer, so I don't need the chemo and the radiation, but I think I need all the rest of what you mentioned. So, and we do in daily life. So it's good that they've integrated that in there, because there are so many traditionalists that don't do that.
Yeah, one thing that I think that, you know, just really makes me happy about my job is knowing that everyone that I come in contact with is an expert in their field.
Right.
You know, there are a lot of patients that will go to their local provider, which is fine. If I have home improvement needs, if my pipes are bursting, if something is going on with my plumbing, I'm going to go to a plumber, someone that is an expert, and that's all they do. You know, I might, depending on the circumstance, go to my neighbor who may be a truck driver, but he dabbles in plumbing. I don't know. You shouldn't, right? You shouldn't. You really should call the plumber, because you're going to end up spending more money. It's going to take longer, you know. So if cancer care, why would you want to go to a generalist who dabbles in cancer? Go to where the experts are, and that's what we are. Everybody on site is an expert in their field.
Well, I know that when COVID hit, they were very good working with you guys, that they moved you into working at home. Mm-hmm. And you kind of do a hybrid of that now. So how has that been for you?
Yeah, so I work from home full time. So I'll tell you a little bit about my job now, what I do with CTCA. So I'm a relationship manager with our community outreach team. Okay. So the community outreach team has been around for about 2 years. So it's pretty new to CTCA. We, CTCA, went to our patients and said, what can we do to serve you better? What do you need from us that we don't already offer? And the overwhelming majority said, we want a direct contact, someone that we can call when we have friends, family, acquaintances that need cancer care. Right. You know, I always say, a cancer patient attracts another cancer patient. Mm-hmm. You know, they always end up together, talking together. You know, a lot of patients, you know, participate in special events where they meet and connect with other people going through the same journey. And they want someone that they can say, you know what, my friend, Kim, she has helped me so much. Give her a call. She'll help you. And so that's what I do. I spend my day connecting with our patients, really just asking them. My question is always the same. What can I do to serve you today? You know, what do you need from me? Some days it's just, Kim, will you just pray for me? Will you just remember me and my husband were going through a rough time? Sometimes it's, hey, I need some help reaching somebody at the hospital. Okay, awesome. I can call them right now. Let me reach out. Sometimes it's just, I just need some encouragement.
Right. I would imagine that's a big one. Yeah.
It is. So, that's why I said I'm so happy with what I'm doing, because it changes from day to day. Yeah. It changes from patient to patient. It's whatever they need of me. And, so we really just want to be there to serve them. And so we're there as that direct contact, that direct number that they can forward to their friend and say, hey, call Kim, she can help you. Whether they need to get in with us for cancer care, for, a first opinion, second, third opinion. That's one thing that I will definitely say is that if I was to give any advice, and I am not a clinical person, I'm not by any means, I'm cannot give clinical advice, but if I was to say anything, is that a cancer diagnosis, don't just go with your first opinion if you're not happy with it. This is your journey. Everybody's journey is different. We've already said that, but because it works for somebody else, it might not work for you. Right. If you don't like what you're being told, go somewhere and ask the questions. Be your own advocate.
Absolutely.
I'll just tell you a quick little story, and you'll have to excuse me if I get a little emotional, because it is very emotional for me. I was very lucky growing up. I didn't have cancer in my life a lot. I don't have many family members that have dealt with it. Some people have been inundated with cancer. My favorite uncle growing up was the very first person that I ever knew had cancer, and he was like the first funeral that I ever attended. I'll never forget that. But aside from that, I really haven't had to deal with it. So when I started with CTCA, it opened my eyes to what our patients deal with. I had a patient who came and I helped. They had cancer. They had gone locally, got an opinion, and the doctor told them, there's nothing we can do. Go home, get your affairs in order, enjoy the last couple of months that you have, and be happy. Right. So her family told her, let's go get a second opinion. So they did. They went somewhere else, got another opinion. That doctor told her the same thing. So there's nothing we can do for you. You need to go home. We're going to give you the information for hospice. Let's keep you comfortable and enjoy the last couple of months you have with your family. And her family was okay with that. They were, they thought, we've gotten these opinions. There's nothing they can do. Let's go home. Fairly young, in her late 40s. She said no. She said, I don't feel like I'm ready for this. I want to fight. She called us, came to CTCA, sat in my office 3 years ago, and has been treating and doing well. 3 years later, they told her 2 months. 2 different places told her 2 months. 3 years it's been. I heard from her last week. She called me and I said, hey, send me your cell phone number. I want to text you a picture, because she's now a new grandmother. Oh, wow. If she had not fought for herself,
that's it.
She would have not been here to see her grandchild be born.
That's it.
And so I always tell everybody, fight for yourself. Don't just give up.
That's it. And we talk in many arenas around here that you have to be your own advocate. You have to know yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit better than anybody else, so that you can reach out for what you need to do it.
Yeah.
Do you have any hints and tips and things that you want to share with us?
I would just say the one thing that happened with COVID, when COVID shut the world down in 2020, cancer did not stop. That was our biggest thing with the traveling, with all of the, the government, things that happened is we can't not treat our patients. Right. We can't stop. We can't, a lot of places could quit doing some procedures and, things, but we couldn't. Our patients need us. It's life or death. And so where COVID shut the world down, cancer did not stop. But one thing that did happen was people got behind on their screenings. Yeah. People did not get the mammograms, the prostate screenings, the lung screenings that they needed to get. And so now people are trying to get caught up. I would say get caught up on your screening. That is the first and most important thing, because, early detection is key.
That's it.
1 in 3 women, 1 in 3, will develop cancer in their lifetime. 1 in 5 men. Those are, I mean, there's 2 of us sitting here, right? I mean, that is.
It's rampant. I've had it go all through our family.
Yeah.
It's, from grandparents when I was really young and didn't know what was going on until the aunt that I was talking about. Even to my husband's mother, passed a couple of years ago. And with my aunt and my mother-in-law, both of whom I loved dearly, we strongly suspect they had to have known what was going on before they finally went to a doctor and told anybody. With my aunt, she was one that they sent home on hospice and said she's not going to make it a month, and she lasted 4 years. Now, she fought like crazy, and me and my daughter was right there with her in that fight. She went 4 years past what they diagnosed. My mother-in-law, though, she came out in November, and all of her kids were able to meet here. They're from Texas, so it was a really big deal for the daughter from Kentucky and the one from Texas and the 2 Georgia boys, and all of them got together for Thanksgiving. And she was pretty insistent that they did that. And then by February, she got a diagnosis at the beginning of February, and they said there was nothing they could do. And they said they could try some treatment and might prolong it, and she was like, no. So we got her home, and it took her 3 weeks, and she passed. Now, we feel like both of those knew early on, because by the time they got there, the cancer had masticated everywhere. And I'm like, I had an aunt that found breast cancer, and she lived a long time after that. I mean, it is all kinds of things that you can do if you find out early enough.
Yeah, it is just really important to take care of ourselves, get those screenings, so that we can find out early.
Yeah. Now, I know I had the BRCA gene testing, too, because it ran so rampant in our family, especially breast cancer and ovarian cancer. I did have the BRCA gene testing. Okay, boy, we're running out of time. We have a lot to talk about, Kim. We might have to do an after show soon. So there is a lot when you're talking about cancer care, and cancer care is not just the patient. Cancer care is also the caregivers and the family that is dealing with them. So to have someone like Kim that works in a place like CTCA, that is such a blessing of what you do. I do want to shout out to Kim, because I was going to get her to talk about this, but now we're running out of time. Kim is one of these ladies I know that decided she was going back to school and get her degree. And she did it. You got just a few words of encouragement to offer other women that want to do that?
Yeah, go for it. That was something that I did for myself.
Yeah. She worked hard. I saw her. She was really working to make sure that she finished that dream that she had and hadn't done previously. And that's something she wants you to do. If you get a diagnosis of cancer, she wants you to be able to complete those dreams.
That's right.
So we are going to end this up with an invitation to Kim to let's have a talk again and go a little bit further into anything else that we need to. But I want to thank you for, being so willing to serve others, because that is so important in anything people are going through.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me, and I'll come back anytime.
Oh, we'll be glad to have you, and then we're going to have to get Ryan's clock fixed so I can tell what time it is. But let me say a quick thing about the studio. We are collecting school supplies for Family Patterns Matter. You can drop them off at Happy Life. You can drop off things for the NICU parents, or come get instructions on what to do, or just reach out on social media. You can drop off scrapbook paper and stickers and pens, and there's no reason for you not to be able to do Notes of Hope and Family Patterns Matters, because school supplies are on sale everywhere. And from an ex-teacher who is addicted to them, it's really hard not to buy them even when I don't need them. So we are buying them, and we are giving them to these groups of people that need them, and we appreciate your help supporting us in this, because you're always so loyal and giving to our community. As for me, I'm over there on Perry Street. You can run in there now that I'm able to be there most of the time, open those doors up and yell Margie, and then my little cubby hole back in the back that nobody knows I'm there, including Ryan for 2.5 months. I will come out the door and see what you need, and we can have a good talk or do something creative or just participate in one of the other activities we got going on. We are glad to have you join us today. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Connecting Hearts of Women to Resources, Information, and to one another. Presented by Creative Heart Studios, 18 Perry Street, here in Newnan. 404-528-8461. Until next time, have a wonderful day.
Oh, we could fly.
This is your summer. That means Six Flags and the taste of an ice-cold Coca-Cola. We're talking thrilling coasters, delicious burgers, real moments together, and this. Coke is summer refreshment when you need it most, so you can hop on another ride or race down a slide at the water park. Six Flags and Coca-Cola. Come make it yours. Visit sixflags.com/Coke to save up to $20 on passes, plus daily tickets starting at $34.99.
We are Acrisure, an extraordinary advantage in insurance, real estate services, cyber services, asset management, and more. Find out what Acrisure can do for you at acrisure.com.